Good morning online class students. In this video we are continuing with the study of the unit data entry and keyboarding skills. In the previous video we learned keyboarding skills. What are the keyboarding skills? A skill through which we can command over the keyboard. So we should know what is keyboard and what types of keys are available on the keyboard and how is the appearance of the keyboard. So normally a keyboard has more than 100 keys. Each key of a keyboard normally correspond to a single symbol, but some of the keys can have two symbols also. In that case, you know very well that we will press that key with a combination of shift to get the upper alphabet or upper symbol get printed, upper symbol get pressed. And you know, when we press the keys simultaneously, they bring the different kind of actions. For example, if you will go for CTRL proceed, you know it will create the copy operation. Then it is describing about the touch typing method, which is actually using the keyboard without looking at the keyboard. And how the touch typist do so? Through using the muscle memory. That means he or she is very aware about what keys are available at which location on the keyboard, and he is very expert in this domain also for which finger of hand to use for a particular key. So a touch typing always start by placing his finger on the home row keys, and home row keys are ASDFs, semicolon LKG. And normally typing speed is measured in the unit words per minute, and it should be at least 60 words per minute, or recommended speed is 60 words per minute. After that, you can use as per your syllabus. You can download the rapid typing tutor to learn the touch typing. After that, in this session we learned about the various types of keys available, and first one was alphanumeric keys, which is all the alphabet keys and number keys. Then the second category was punctuation keys, and in the English whatever the punctuators are, along with it includes mathematical operators here also. Then comes all keys, which provide the second it is like the second control key. And then four arrow keys, shift and all keys also. Backspace and delete key difference I have already explained. Caps lock key for toggling between the uppercase and lowercase. CTRL key for in combination with any other alphabet or character, it will bring another impact, another action will be performed. Like enter keys for the line change. Escape key is normally used to quit the applications. Function keys have their specific functions associated with them, and sometimes they depend upon the particular software in which we are using the function key also. In this manner, we have learned the variety of keys available on the keyboard. Next thing we have gone through in that video is about numeric keypad, that 0 to 9, and the keys are available. Other keys are also available like plus minus, multiplication, division, del, enter, nums lock also. If the nums lock is on and if the nums lock is off, the behavior of the key will get changed. After that, we come to know that ASDF and semicolon LKJ were the home keys, and among these keys F and J are particularly known as guide keys, because on that there is a specific tangible mark, raised tangible mark, through which we can identify that definitely we are at the location F and J, and rest of the keys, rest of our fingers will definitely be at the right place on the home row. And then we come to know that actually we already know how to type and how to delete using the backspace key and the delete key. How to type in the capital letter, how to type symbols along with the combination of shift key, and in the case of typing sentences you will use the space bar for putting the space between the words. For line change you will use enter key. Guide for typing, it has talked about the cursor keys which serve as a guide for typing also. Then now we will continue further. This is about pointing devices. Pointing devices are used in graphical user interfaces to point to a particular location, and you can use the same device to select or to drag or drop something. So pointing devices are very useful nowadays because all the majority of the software are GUI based. Next, other pointing devices you would have used sometimes is like touch screen is also a pointing device. We are pointing with our finger on it, and in gaming you would have used joystick as well as trackball also. Touchpad you would have used, light pen you would have used for pointing on the screen. Now this lesson is this lesson is basically focusing on the mouse pointing device, and it's giving very basic information about that mouse has normally 3 buttons: right button, left button, and scroll. And it is also telling in this paragraph that with the right hand, normally right-handed person use the right hand index fingers to press the left button, and right hand middle finger to press the left button of the mouse. And normally to hold the mouse we use thumb and the ring finger, and clicking left button, I have already told, and this is about index finger and the middle finger toe. Middle finger is for right button. Middle finger is for right button. Now this is about the buttons available, how to press using which fingers, and how to hold the mouse also. Next thing is variety of mouse pointers. In general, the mouse pointer appears like this, and if it is on certain text, as you can notice on a screen also that it is right now on the text, so its appearance is I form, and if it is in normal, it is in arrow. Mouse pointer appears like this normal arrow, and if it is I am moving it on the text, it is in the I form. And if I move it on some hyperlink, which is right now in this, not in this file, so that's why I can't explain right now, it will appear like this hand. Fine. So these are about the mouse pointers, and in the meanwhile, in the figure it has explained the correct way of holding the mouse. There should not be any type of slant either in this angle or this angle, or any of the angle between the wrist and the palm should not take place. It should be in a straight line. Only then you are holding a mouse properly. Next is about mouse operations. So far you know, you would have used from the childhood, at least from the 3rd class, the mouse you would have used in the lab. So you would have clicked left click, which is normally termed as click, then let's scroll, left click, then double click for either for opening a file, or you are triggering some action. In that case you double click. You can go for right click for opening the context based menus from which you can select the items. For example, if right click, this is a context menu, from I can select the particular item. This was, I have done the right click operation right now. You can drag and drop also. Certain things you can drag and drop. Right now I am dragging and dropping and losing such, but it is not the thing. So, but drag and drop operation can be performed also. And how to do? You will first of all select the item, then you will hold on your mouse and release it at the place where you want to drop it. And the next operation is a scroll operation. If the mouse has a scroll bar, you can scroll it. Otherwise you will simply go on the vertical bar or horizontal bar for scrolling, which is available in the application screen, and you will go and use the left button of the mouse to do so. Blocking is the next operation we do with the mouse definitely, but we don't know technically that it is termed as blocking, and it is used to select. You would have done the formatting of the text definitely, like I am doing blocking right now. I place the cursor at the beginning of M and I am holding it, and up to the end of the line I want to do certain thing. So if it is word, I would have done something. Right now I can copy at least. So what I have done, I have selected this text, and how I have done the selection, that is termed as blocking. I have placed the cursor at the beginning from where I want to select, and I have hold it mouse. Actually I am using touchpad, but I am explaining it will be done like with the mouse, and after that you will keep it continue till the last, and now you have done the blocking. Let's see what it is saying. Click at the beginning of the word or sentence and hold down the left button, then drag along the text and see it being highlighted in black. So in this manner you can do the blocking. And what were they? They were the mouse actions. Click, which is left click, double click, right click, drag and drop, scroll, blocking. Next is typing ergonomics. To do typing efficiently, you will need to follow certain things like basics of the typing. The typing ergonomics related to sitting posture are that you should sit straight, you should bend, slightly bending your neck forward, and after that you can check your comfort level, actually comfort and sitting position in this diagram also. There are various parameters given, like elbow should be slightly higher than the wrist when operating keys or mouse. Okay, the back support should be at angle of 90 degree either or at 100 degree and supporting your lumbar curve. Then it is talking about hips should be slightly higher than knees. Knees and hips should be a little bit higher than knees. There should be approximately 2 to 3 fingers width clearance between the front edge of the seat and the back of the knee. It is talking about most probably this thing. And then feet should be supported by the floor. Definitely you should be comfortable there. The desk should be approx 680 to 720 millimeter high. This is a recommended sitting guidelines, sitting posture guidelines. Then position of hands also matters while working on the keyboard. So you can notice, put your forearms at level with the keyboard and palms down. Keep your wrist straight and hang your elbows naturally. Don't touch the elbows to the body or not be too far away from the body. Bend at about 90-degree angle. So in this diagram you can notice the correct posture of your hands which you need to follow while using keyboard. Otherwise in the long run your body suffers actually. Monitor placement should be like that. Key monitors upper border of the screen should be at your eye level, and the distance between your eye and the computer screen should be for the 17 inches screen monitor, the distance recommended is 60 to 65 centimeters. And mouse and pointer replacement the distance between mouse and keyboard should be like that. It should be in between 20 centimeters. Why it is so? So that you can easily switch from mouse to keyboard, because we are going to operate with both the things. We are going to use keyboard as well as mouse. So the distance between them, recommended distance is 20 centimeters. And in this it is also chair and table replacement. Sorry, I switched in between chair and table replacement. The computer chair and table, we need to adjust it at the optimal height, and it should basically, the chair should support our lower back, and all the vibrating devices should be kept at the separate table. Vibrating devices can be making sounds, printers can be the example. The computer table should have sufficient space for your legs also. With the correct ergonomics, typing becomes a natural phenomenon without causing unnecessary fatigue. What it wants to say, if you will take care of all these things, your body is not going to suffer. Placement of monitor is also important. The monitor you are going to type from using keyboard, that also matters, and you can place it at the right hand side or the left hand side of the keyboard, and it should be at the some sloping surface or slanted surface, so that you can comfortably see it while typing. Why the touch typing method recommended that you should not see at the keyboard? Because actually typing job requires you to either you are remembering your all content is in your mind, that's a different thing. Otherwise, normally you see the page, you see the document which you want to type, and you again see the keyboard, you again see the document. So in the process what happens, your neck also suffers. And touch typing methods, in the long run, if you learn, you will always focus on the content which you want to type, and instead of focusing again and again on the keyboard. That is the advantage of learning typing, as well as definitely it brings a speed, it brings accuracy, and it itself is an skill also. Next topic is positioning of fingers on the keyboard. Positioning of fingers on the keyboard matters a lot if you want to actually command this skill. So in the home row, the recommended positions are for left hand side. If you notice, the little finger is at A, rest of the fingers will definitely be in the forward direction for SDF. So you can remember, but first of all you should know the name little finger, then it is ring finger, the next one is index finger, and the next one is middle finger, and the next one is index finger. And likewise for right hand side, semicolon is covered with little finger and semicolon L. L is covered with ring finger, K is covered with middle finger, J is covered with your index finger. Covered means you are placing your fingers in these positions respectively, and this is known as home row. And after that, allocation of keys to fingers on the second row. And second row, when it is saying second row, you need to take care of, it is talking about the row home row. Fine, home row is second row. Actually at this point I should say home row is the second row, and I was earlier also talking about the second row. And on home row there are two more keys, G and H alphabetically. For G also you will use left hand side index finger, for H you will use right hand side index finger. For the next row, AS, DF, semicolon, LK, JH, these are the drills you will practice, and you will make a file also later on. Allocation of keys to fingers on the third row, which is your upper row QWERTY one block and POIUY next block. because if you put your little left hand side little finger on Q, so rest of your fingers will be placed like W E R, and after that Q W E R means your 4 fingers, little finger, this is ring finger, this is middle finger, and this is index finger of left hand side, and still T is uncovered. So T will be pressed always by the left hand side index finger. If you see the upper row, which is actually third row, upper row from the right hand side, your right hand index finger will be placed at P, and then right hand side ring finger O, middle finger I, index finger U. 4 fingers has been placed on the position POIU, and Y is still left, so Y will be covered by right hand side index finger. So this is the allocation of your fingers on the third row. Allocation of keys to fingers. Allocation of not fingers to keys, allocation of keys to fingers. I am not allocating my finger to the keyboard keys. The topic is allocation of keys to fingers. Fine. Next, allocation of keys to fingers on the first row, that is bottom row, and this is a little bit different because we are going to start with our left hand side ring finger. We are not starting with the little finger. So left hand side ring finger Z, then X, C, we will definitely come with the middle finger, index finger, and again we will come with the index finger, because we have initially placed our ring finger, then middle finger and index finger. V is still left, so it will be covered by left hand side index finger. Your left hand side little finger is free right now. On the numbering matters a lot actually. On the first row, which is bottom row. Fine. Bottom row is first row, middle row is home row, top row is third row. You will keep it in mind. Now next thing is on bottom row, right hand side, full stop, little finger, comma, ring finger, middle finger is about M, and index finger is about N. Still B is left, so that you will cover with index finger again. Next thing, allocation of keys on the fourth row, which is number row. Actually, just above the QWERT, there is number row also. Fourth row, it is technically termed here as fourth row, and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 you will use left hand side little ring and middle finger, and for 9 you will use index finger. No, little ring and middle finger. 1, 2, 3. It is talking about only 1, 2, 3. Left hand side little ring and middle finger. But please, you will have to remember this, because practically I don't have the command on the number rows. That's why I have to read 1, 2, 3. Left hand side little middle little ring and middle finger. After that, for 4 and 5 you are using index finger, that is automatic. And after that, from the right hand side, if you will go, it is saying 0, 9 and 8 is covered with little ring and middle finger, and again 7 and 6 are coming with index finger of right hand side. This is okay. 0, 1, 2 and 3 you will place left hand side little, middle and ring finger. For 4 and 5 you are using index finger of left hand side. After that, in the right hand side, you are not placing your hand here. You will always place your hand on the home row, but whenever you want to press these keys, you will come here with the proper finger and come back again on the home row keys. 0, 9 and 8 is about right hand side little ring and middle finger, and 7 and 6 are about index finger. After that, it is also describing this numeric keypad. Therefore 5, 6 is known as home row here. Actually 5 is the guide key here, and your right hand side index finger 4, middle finger 5, and ring finger is 6. After that, as per the requirement, you will move the index finger to press 1 or 7, and likewise. So this is the allocation of fingers on the numeric keypad. Successful keyboarding tips. That means the tips if you follow, you will be successful in keyboarding, using keyboard properly. Press the keys with feather touch. Don't use pressure. Rest your fingers on home row while typing. It is best recommended. Allow your fingers to fall naturally on the keys. Please don't feel like that I am looking for the particular key. Fine. Next point is while typing, release the key immediately as soon as you press it. It is your duty. You will not stay there. You will have to always come back to the home key. Do not look at the keyboard. That touch typing, otherwise you are not following touch typing. Press the keys with equal intervals of time and rhythm. It should not happen that you are taking more time on a particular key on the keyboard. All should take the same time. Press the keys only with the finger allotted for them, and it is very hard to follow actually. But only if you follow it, you will get the speed as well as accuracy also. While pressing a key, say slowly pronounce the character on the key. Initially it is recommended when you are pressing, you should know mentally or even in the little voice you can say that I am pressing A. You will not say like that. Actually you will say just A, not Z. In this manner your mind will learn by repetition. Do not take any mental stress, or in any learning we should not take mental stress. We should learn with joy, only then we learn fast. Secure typing ergonomics. Follow the rules for sitting posture, for hands, for placing the monitor, the distance between monitor and you, placing the keyboard and mouse, and placing your reading content as well. This was about typing ergonomics. Maintain patience if committed mistake at initial stage in any learning. Maintain a balance between speed and accuracy, but still do not sacrifice accuracy for speed. And to gain mastery of computer keyboard, undertake repeated practice of typewriting words, sentences, passages and figures without looking at the keyboard. Practice and practice, but whatever the particular finger, particular key, that combination should be followed. Only then in the long run you will get speed as well. That's all for right now, because in the next video we will explore the rapid typing tutor as per your syllabus, the software rapid typing tutor. Thank you all of you, and now I will close it. But how?